Hello, it's your favorite financial program. It's the Financial Freedom Now show. We're back. We're back with another wonderful conversation, a wonderful discussion. We're going to be talking about something that I feel is not spoken about enough. Looking for a way out. That is the feeling it's almost like the exhalation that I feel is required when you feel frustrated, you feel like you're stagnant, you feel that you're frustrated about the journey you've been on and how you've not been able to navigate the financial freedom journey, or you feel like you're in a crisis and you're just looking for a way out. I am here to say, I validate your feelings. I know how tough it is, how tough it has been this past few months, years, however long it's been, how you have not given up, but it almost feels like you keep banging your head against a brick wall every single time you try, and it just feels like nothing is going well. I understand how difficult it is because I've been there. I know exactly how difficult it is. But also, what I must commend you, because if you're listening to me, I must commend you on the resilience you've shown, because you tuning into this right now and having gone through that, or you might just be listening to this ahead of a challenge or whatever it is, or you might be listening to this having gone through something similar, so you can resonate with what we're talking about. I must commend you on the resilience you've shown and the adaptability you have actually imbibed in overcoming this obstacle. And if you've not, maybe then this is to encourage you to make sure to hang in there. Do not give up. Be resilient. Adapt your world, your reality, and whilst you try and navigate this situation. It is the reason why I understand why I'm saying this is because I understand. I've been there. I have gone through some things where I've actually you've had days where you've doubted you will ever come out of it, or you've doubted where things would, if the situation would ever resolve itself, or you ever doubted whether you would get to the other side, or if you would see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's been so dark, and I understand how you feel. This is the reality of having financial challenges or even having setbacks in whatever areas of your life. But what I want us to talk about today is not just validating those feelings, but how do we actually get out of it? Because sometimes we find ourselves in such deep holes, and it seems like you can never get out of it. And people don't talk about this well enough, I feel, such that everyone can navigate and find their way out. I have been through several seasons of this, and I remember vividly one of the experiences that I had, that I got into so much I don't even want to, I can't use the word depression. I got into such a state that even the things that were easy for me, or would have been easy, or the easy solutions, I couldn't see because I was so much blinded by the difficulties I was experiencing at the time. And these are financial difficulties. It blinded me so much that even the wins I couldn't necessarily see because I was deep in that form. And thank God for God and moments of sanity that you come out, and then you grab yourself and you tell yourself, you know what, I can do this. I mean, I may not be able to resolve this particular issue, but the things that I can resolve, let me go ahead. And those are sort of things I want to talk about today, and how we can navigate that journey, how you can look for a way out in whatever it is that you're going through. I think what the first thing is, it is important to identify and address what the roadblocks are on your path to financial independence, or on your path, whatsoever financial path you're on. It's important to address it, call it whatever its name is, so we know what you're working on. What you never want to do is live in denial. That is the beginning of the downfall. You'd never want to be in a state where you're living in denial, or you do not address, you don't know what's going on. You're not you're not pinpointing what the issues are. The issues may or may not have been caused by yourself. So please do not. This is not this is not a space where we're blaming anyone. Some of these issues may not have been caused by yourself. It might not be. It may be totally out of your control. It might just be something that you experienced, not necessarily something that you brought upon yourself, and that's okay. It doesn't matter which shape or form it's come. I mean, there are lessons you can learn from it. It doesn't matter how this has come about. What's important is we looking for a way out of the situations and how we can actually find creative solutions to actually achieve our goals, get out of the situation that we found ourselves. So, what I am saying to you today is I am here. I hear you. I know what you're going through. I know what you've gone through. I have been there. You're not alone on this journey. It's not because you're a failure. It's not because there's a cost that has come upon you. No, it is part of life. Here, I said it. It is part of your growth path as well. And I think the sooner we acknowledge some of these difficulties or some of these difficult parts, and some of us have it really bad and worse than others, but the sooner you acknowledge some of these things, the better it is for you to start finding a way forward. When you put yourself in a pity party situation because you think this is just you and this problem as is only got to do with you and all things, everything seems so difficult, then it's more difficult to navigate the situation because you're not focusing on what the problem is and how you can resolve it. You're looking at a situation where you feel like it's beyond you and you have no party to play, or you feel like your woe has befallen me, or whatever it is you want to call it. So I don't want us to see that issue. Does that mean that does not happen? It does happen. However, it's almost a case of let's actually pinpoint what the issues are, what are the roadblocks that we've experienced, why did we find ourselves in this situation, and how can we get out of it. Okay, so I think that's very key. And then understanding the financial situation a lot of times helps you navigate that situation. So let's look at this. What are the issues you're going through right now? Are you able to write down what the issues are? And then are you then able to write down almost, I mean, you want to get a sheet of paper right now and just literally divide the paper into two, have two parts of the paper. On one side, I want you to highlight what the issues are. Itemize it as much as you can. Call it, express it, let it out. Use that energy, that negative energy, or you're feeling now. Use it as an opportunity. Let it out on pen, and then literally write down what the issues are, what each of the issues are. And on the other side, what I want you to write, what a solution looks like for you. What would you want for each of those problems you've highlighted? Can you write down what you would like to see as a solution? Put a time frame to when you think you would want to have the solution. Now, I'm not saying this exercise automatically gives you the answers you want, but sometimes, or when you not sometimes, a lot of times when you itemize these things, you are able to pinpoint what the problems are, be able to pinpoint what the likely solutions will be. Now, please understand that not every single problem or solution would you be able to visualize what the solution is, but as much as possible, have a go at this and try to visualize what the solution, what the solution you would like to have is, and write them down. The reason why you're doing this is because you're going to be able to identify what the issues are, but also help yourself start looking for how you can overcome this adversity, because it is an adversity, right? It's stopping you from going on the journey that you desire. And for some of you that's thinking, you don't understand, Tony, I cannot pay my bills tomorrow. You don't understand, Tony, I'm wallowing in debt, and because of that I cannot even think. You don't understand, Tony, I can't even make my daily bread, I can't feed my children, so things are really tough. So this is really, please follow me on this journey and do what I've just asked you to do. The reason is solution is near, and you've got to believe that. The mere fact that you're listening to me shows me that you in some way are seeking for the solution, and you will find the solution, right? So I want you to highlight those things and look at what the solution and what the likely solutions are. Now we're going to take it a step further. Each of those solutions, so we're going to take them one after the other. Each of those likely solutions, where what are the steps that you think you can take to help you navigate that? Now, some of these things might not be within your resources or your plan or your power right now, but what are the likely steps you can take for each of those solutions that you reckon might bring you back on this journey? Again, these are practical tips of helping you stay motivated as well during these challenging times. Now, you writing those things down doesn't necessarily mean you can go ahead and do those things or they're within your control. For example, you might say, I don't have any money, I've spent all of my savings, and this is the problems I've got, and obviously you could say I'm unemployed, and so the solution will be to get a job. But to get a job means I need to get this claim, this certification, and to get the certification I don't have the funds. But just let's write it down, because what we can then do is, what are the alternative options in doing those steps that you've highlighted, and how can you get get going on those things? I think I always feel, especially when people are actually going through struggling with debt, or are going through a phase of unemployment or any other financial hardship, it's usually very difficult to know what to do, because it's almost like a ripple effect. I don't have a job, because of the job I don't have money, because I don't have money I can't pay my bills, because I can't pay my bills, and now I'm now in debt that I can, and then because I'm now in debt, my credit rating has been mad. Because my credit rating has been mad, I cannot look at other business opportunities because I need funds and I can't go to the bank, and because of that. And it's almost like it's a ripple effect. There's something after something after something. And sometimes that could get you overwhelmed. It's like, what do I do? Where do I go from here? But what I want you to do, writing those things down, is because we're going to be able to get solutions. We're working this way, but working this out. And this is where you're going to have to be resilient. I don't know how much I can plead with you, but what I would say is, do never give up. Even if this is your situation, never give up. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So that's the first thing I'll say to you. Secondly, what I would say to you is, make sure you are being very resourceful at this time. This is the time you will access other income opportunities that you would never have been able to access or even think was worthwhile. I have had businesses, 6-figure, 7-figure businesses built during times of hardships, purely because I had to look for another way out. I had to look for ways to make my bills, pay my bills. So these are things I probably would have shied away from at the time. But because when rubber meets the road, when things are tough, you start thinking outside of the box. What else can I do? How else can I be useful? What other assets do I have? What other skill sets do I have? Okay, what other skill sets can I build? What are the tool sets? How can I support someone? How can I learn from others? How can I offer my services? So this is a time for you to be extremely resourceful. Think about the things that you have. Always say this, and I would never stop saying it. Your 10%, your 1% is someone else's 100%. In property, loads of people cannot afford to buy property deals. What do? They learn how to deal source, find property deals, sell it to those that have got the money, and that way they make some money for themselves. I have had people who actually have degree holders, but because they're going through tough times, they become cleaners for other people's properties. And in that process, they've been picked up on having experience, become a property manager. Before you know, they become joint venture partners. They navigate their way out of poverty that way. So this might not actually be financial difficulty. This might have been a cycle you've been going through, and it's almost like a family poverty, and it's just the mindset shift that needs to happen. You've just never really been in wealth. You've never really experienced what it feels like to be financially free. And your talk process here is, I need a way out. I cannot allow this negative pattern continue. Please Be resourceful. What is in your hands that you can use whilst you're going through this tough period? How can you seek support? Seeking support during this period is not the same as just being dependent and entitled, whatever name you want to call it. Seeking support is different from that. Do not be like I always say, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. How can you seek for support? How can you let people know you need help? Not from an entitlement perspective, but more from a fact that shout out for help. I need help. I need a job. Who within my network knows someone that has this, right? So it's again about shouting out, let people know what you can do to help to get yourself. I always say, and you can find the form of this in any form that you will shape or form. What does putting food on your children's table look like? So whether or not you're a parent, putting food on your children's table means what are the things that you've birthed on the inside of you that you need to birth? What does that look like? What are the purposes that you need to birth? What does that look like? How are you impeding that growth by not doing what you need to do? So really, really important to understand that you need to seek support at this point in time. I have countless stories I could share with you where I've gone through such difficult times. And one of the things that has kept me, apart from my faith in God, is also being resilient. Literally telling myself, no, failure is not an option. Giving up is not an option. I am going to get through this. I am going to get to the end. And if I tell you that it's easy and I always just talk myself and motivate myself, I'm always self-motivated, I lie. No, because there are times where it's really, really tough and you doubt whether all those things you said to yourself will happen. But please know that this is the time where you need to keep pouring into yourself. The reverse is the case, is what you would feel like doing. You just feel dejected, feel down, and you don't feel like pumping yourself up. But this is the time when you need to do more and more, pumping yourself up, powering yourself through this difficult position. Please know that your light is at the end of the tunnel. You are almost there. You have been striking hard for so long. Don't give up now when victory is just round the corner. You will find a way out. I believe in you. Until next time, it's Toyin in your diary. Keep liking, keep sharing, let people know this is happening. God bless you.